All right. Welcome, everyone, to Empower Your Energy. I am Rose Whippich, and these workshops are designed to help you connect with your energy, help you to cultivate greater energy as well. And we do that by doing some Qigong exercises. I'll talk a little bit first, and then we'll do Qigong. And Qigong is a form of movement that helps you to work with your energy, helps you to clear out energy blocks, and it helps you to develop a better quality of energy and also for the energy to flow in your body better. Especially, when we sit around all day and maybe we're not healthy, either physically or emotionally or mentally, the energy doesn't move around. It's like you have like a little traffic jam of energy in your body and you want it to move through. So when the energy flows, then we feel more vital and more alive. So we'll do the movements and then we'll talk a little bit. I have the tarot cards and we could talk about anything that's related to energy. And I'll also do Reiki at the end. I'll talk a little bit about Reiki as well. Does anyone have any questions before we start this practice? No? All right. And let me just make sure that all my devices are on mute. I have one of that and this. All right. And I have the big lights on, so you should be able to see me when I stand. So I'm going to stand up back there, and we're going to do them. And you can keep your video on or not. It's up to you what you want to do during the movement part of the practice. So I'm just going to make sure we're actually going to spotlight myself so I can see that everyone can see me okay. Here we go. Spotlight or pin me. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. All right. So I had the opportunity or the pleasure of having this really lovely talk last week about Yin Yoga and Qigong for an organization called the National Qigong Organization. And I really enjoyed it because I was able to really talk about a couple of things that I love to do and teach. So, but in this practice, we're just going to do Qigong. We're not going to do the Yin, but if anybody wants to try some other yoga practice in the future, we can do that. So I am just setting up my mic. Make sure you can hear me. All right, so we're going to stand and we're going to bring our hands together, clasp our fingers, and we're just going to rotate the wrists a little bit. So we're going to move the joints in different directions or rotate them. And what we're starting to do is not only lubricate the joints, but move the energy. So that's mostly where the energy becomes blocked, is within the joints of our body. So we're going to bring our arms, what is called cactus arms, and then swing the hands in. So we're moving from the elbows. Typically, we don't do this unless we're maybe stirring a pot or something like that, and then go out. And just notice what pops up or any sounds that are popping within the body. It's good to have that feedback. And we're going to swing our arm back or rotate from the shoulder and do what's comfortable. So, one of the rules I have is that you don't overdo anything. You do what is in your capacity, so within your range of motion. So, if this is too much for you, do something little. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side. And Qigong there's different movements for different things. Um, We're just going to do a variety of exercise, and I'll try to explain what the purpose is for some of them, physically or emotionally. All right, now we're going to bring our hands to our hips, and we're going to just move the hips as if you're swinging an imaginary hula hoop. I don't know if anybody knows what those are. I still have one, actually. I don't use it as much. So if you've been sitting all day, you may encounter a little bit of stiffness here, as I am right now. And we're going to bring our hands to our knees. Just gentle rotation. There's not a lot of movement with the knees, except bending. It's about it, right? So we need to be gentle and go the other way around. But there's a joint. So it gets energy to get stuck in here. And then we're going to bring our foot out and rotate the ankle one way and the other. Once again, the ankle also has very limited rotation, but you can point and flex it, and that's a little better movement. Do this on the other side. If you haven't yet figured out, I love anatomy. It's one of my things. Never thought I would love it so much, but once you understand how everything moves in the body, it's wonderful. All right, now we're going to take our head. We're going to just tuck that chin in towards our chest. Feel that the back of the neck getting longer, right? Maybe it's not really, but imagine that it is. And then lift the head, chin towards the ceiling, just gentle. Once again, notice that range of motion. Bring your head back towards center, and then just do some rotations that feel comfortable. So rotating it maybe 3 times one way, feeling and hearing those cracks, and then going the other way. We're going to come back to center. And the first movement we're going to do is just a regular standing posture called a Wuji posture. So one of the intentions I have, or one of the intentions for this pose is to come back and to be grounded in your center. So your feet are hip distance apart or a little wider. Knees are bent as if you're sitting on a high bar stool or a high stool. Tuck your pelvis in so that it moves towards the ground. So the thighs are activated, and then your arms are by your side, resting. Imagine you have an egg underneath each arm. You don't want to crush it. You want to just hold it, and then you're pausing here. This is a Wuji. This is when we return to our center or our primordial state. We're going to go through a series of exercises just called the 5 waves. It's very gentle and it goes through all the elements. And the first one is the earth element. So imagine we have in the basis of our palms, we have energy centers like Iron Man, if you know the character. So imagine that you're drawing your energy or the energy from the earth up into the base of the palms, up through the body, and then your hands rest at shoulder height. And then they sink. And as the arms sink, you sink in a little bit more down towards the earth. This is a great one to do if you've had a very busy day and you're all over the place and you want to settle that energy before you go to bed or at any time. That earth energy is solid. It's grounding. It's stable. You can even imagine that there's roots at the base of your feet. And as you lift those arms, inhale. And as you exhale, lower the arms. One more like this. We'll just inhale up, exhale. So you should hopefully feel a little calmer already. So we're going to bring the arms on shoulder height and the palms are facing each other. We're going to do a fire element here. Now, I want you to imagine that there's something you don't like in your life or something that you just want to get rid of for a moment. Maybe not a person so much, but something, an issue. And you're going to put it into the fire, right? So we're going to open and expand. We're going to grab whatever that is, and then we're going to close our arms, putting it into the fire. We're going to release it. Cross the arms. Don't let the arms touch. You can have your arms in a fist, okay? So we're just going to open. I imagine that these are big wings and I'm flying, but we're going to set the intention of releasing. We had a beautiful full moon last week. Yep. Really that energy of releasing. As you open the arms, I want to hear a big inhale. I can't hear them, but I want to imagine that you're inhaling very big, very deeply. And then exhale out. We're working the lungs, the chest muscles, the nerves in and around the ribs and the chest. And round out the spine a little bit and open, maybe do a little back bend, squeeze the shoulder blades, maybe extend the arms more, play with the movements. These are your bird wings. All right, one more. Biggest one you've got. Open and expand, squeeze the shoulder blades. and then come back down, forward. So now we're going to cross the arms in front, and we're going to imagine we're a fountain, and the energy or the water element is floating up. And then we turn the palms away from each other, and then that water comes down the sides. We're lifting that energy up. It's like hydraulic. So a fountain works on hydraulics. The water comes up the middle, down the sides freely, and it flows, creates this beautiful energy of constantly moving water. And energy, and the water energy is very soothing and comforting. It's nourishing. We need water, lots and lots of water. We need hydration. And you can even swing those arms down and up. Feel that momentum. And remember, if this is too much, do it gentle. You don't have to go all the way high. You don't have to go as high as I did. You can just move, have a little fountain. One more fountain. And then this time we're going to bring the arms all the way up, and we're going to stir the clouds. So side to side movement, super important. We don't do this. We never go side to side. And when we do, I hear everybody in my class always moan or groan in a really good way because it feels so good. So imagine you're stirring the clouds up in the sky. If the clouds are too high for you, make them a little lower, but it's the side movement that we're looking for here. And let's allow those hands now. We're going to bring the mist from those clouds down. Let's wash them down. Let's do a couple of these. You can come as high as your head or higher. This is just washing a little bit more water. Never have enough water. We're getting in our 8 cups of water. And allow that mist to come down. And the last one is the metal element. We're going to draw the arms back. So my hands are up. You can see them. So they're out. You don't have to. If this is too much for your wrist, you can just keep them neutral. So bring the arms or elbows back. And then as you exhale, first of all, take a big inhale in. And then as you exhale, let all that energy out. Inhale, exhale, inhale. You're letting go, you're releasing. Exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. And now open those arms wide. Fingertips are up again, if that's good for you. And we're going to do big circles. We're cutting away what no longer serves us. This is my Edward Scissorhands movement. Remember Edward Scissorhands? He would cut everything, almost too much, right? A lot of metal energy there. But when we have a lot of clutter in our lives, a lot of things we don't want or need, we need to get rid of them. And this is the energy, this is the movement of releasing and letting go. All right, let's bring our hands down, back towards the center, and down by our sides. Good. Let's come back to our Wuji posture. Take a few breaths and notice anything that may be stirring up for you, either emotionally, maybe some physical sensations. Maybe you feel some tingling or anything like that. And we're going to take just a few more breaths. And then we're going to do a couple of other movements, which are in a with that Wuji state of coming back to center and erasing conditioning, pre-existing conditions in our body or in our minds. Okay. All right. So the first one we're going to do is called the spiraling. So we're going to bring our hands or fingers are touching the pointer and the thumbs. And we're going to start these circles. So the circles, right? So you can go in the direction that I'm going, right in front of your belly. This is known as the dantian. We have 3 dantians. This is the middle, lower, middle, and the upper. So we begin at the lower and we make these circles. And as we do these circles, guess what? The energy in your body is moving as well. So whatever spiraling is happening in the outside is happening on the inside. So think of it as like the spin cycle of your wash or the dryer. You're getting things out. You're wringing the clothes of whatever excess water or soap is in there. So we're doing a little spin cycle here. I never used that analogy before. I actually like that. It makes sense. And you can bend the knees and come down a little more, maybe a little higher, down a little more, maybe a little higher. And keep those palms towards you if you can. And we're going to do one more in this direction because we have a few directions. All right, come back to center, get your bearings, and then start to switch direction. And you notice I'm not doing it fast. I'm doing it slow. It's nighttime. Got nowhere to go except to bed. Maybe some of you that are watching this recording during the day, you want to do it a little faster? You can. Whatever calls to you. We make those movements just a little higher, lower, bend the knees, engage the thighs. One more, and then we're going to come back to center. Pause here with your hands together. And then release the hands by your side. We've got a couple more of these spin cycle movements. So now we're going, these are just called spiraling. So now we're going to spiral in the forward direction. I like to call this the Choo Choo Charlie one. I think some of you may remember that from the commercials. Maybe some of you may not. So as we lift the arms, and I'll do the side, we bend at the knees, we bring the arms higher and bend. And you don't have to, you could just stay here and just keep rolling right along this way. We're still spiraling that energy, right? And one more. And bring your hands back to the side. All right, so now we got to move it the opposite direction. Your energy spins. That energy, you're controlling how it's moving outside of your body, inside of your body, with the hand movements and with intention. One more. And bring your hands by your side. I'll keep out the last twisting or spiraling movement. I'm going to do something that is one of my favorites. It's called toroids. And if you think of a shape of an apple or a peach shaped in a toroid, so it's kind of like a figure 8. Okay. All right. So this movement, I want you to now really think about something again that you want to eliminate from your life. It could be eating chocolate or I don't know, some habit or something. Okay. I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to help eliminate it in one shot, but you're setting the intention of removing, or maybe it's old conditioning, whatever it is. And we're going to bring our hands to a chi lock. All fingers are touching. I'm going to do it this way. It's done in different ways, but I'm doing it in this way. All right, so now this hand, I have my right hand on my side and my left hand in front. I'm going to pull out what it is I no longer want. And then this hand comes in and continues to pull it out. Did you ever work with tough weeds? You got to dig them out and pull them out. So we're pulling out those weeds. We're weeding. Remember, think about it. What is it that you want to get rid of? Let's get rid of it. Let's throw it out. Let's toss it. Now let's slow it down. Did the best we could now. Now we're going to bring some fresh energy. We've got all this beautiful space. Let's bring some fresh, nourishing chi in. So palm open. We're going to scoop that energy up all around and in, and our hand is coming down the center. This other hand is scooping already. It's coming back. Use the breath. Breathe it in. Breathe this fresh chi in. I love this movement. This toroids move, they're my favorite. All right. Now, let's bring our hands to our side. And we're going to do the same thing in front. We're going to use two hands now this time. First, we're going to use them going out. So we're going to come in and out. Reminiscent of like a DJ with two records, right? We're spinning in a different direction, these toroid movements. And it's going all around the body, not just the front of the body, all around the back. It's like a swimming motion, right? Now we're going to spin it the other way. So now we're bringing in some good fresh chi in. One more. And come back to center. Let's come to that Wuji posture for just a moment. Let's see where we are. Take a few deep breaths. Are your arms tingling? I know mine do when I do these movements. It feels kind of cool. All right, let's do some body bending. So the first movement we'll bring our feet wide, and then we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to plant our hands on the top of our legs, on the top of our thighs. And we're just going to release the lower back. Okay, so like you're pressing that lower back out, and you're releasing it and letting go and relaxing it. Okay, so the lower back, the kidney area. Now, come up to standing. Bring your hands, place them on your lower back like you're supporting and holding those kidneys. And we're going to do a slight back bend here. So press the hips out, so you're pressing them forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades, open up the front body, the chest, and then look up. And then we're going to slide those hands back on our thighs. Oh, release that lower back, feels so good. And slide the hands up. And press the hips out, squeeze the shoulders, just a slight back bend, healthy compression of the lower spine. We're massaging our kidneys and our backs and nerves and cells and all that good stuff. And we're going to bring our hands back in front. We're going to take your right hand and place it behind you. You're supporting it, the back of the hand, and this other hand's going to be on top. So like you're holding your head in place, okay? And we're going to do side bends here. So we're going to bend the body to the side. Once again, that nice side movement. I'm going to come back to center, open those arms, and switch direction. Let's go to the other side. Deep inhale. Let's go to this side. And then come back to center one more time. I can do this one often. Back to center. And we'll bring our hands together. Let's bring those hands overhead and then lift the heels off if the floor if you want. I'm not going to. I get a little wobbly, so just raising my arms here. And then I'm going to bring my hands down through the center and bend the knees. So my feet are together, my knees are together, and then lift up. So we're bending it in this direction. This is our last bending. And if you can come all the way down, you can, but I'm just going to imagine I'm sitting in a little stool. And then we're going to come back to standing. Hands by your side. Last couple movements. The next one is called heel drops, just like it says. So these are really good to stimulate the minerals in our bones and also our kidneys, right? And our organs. So we're going to inhale, and you can use your arms too, kind of swinging them like a kid. Inhale and exhale. If you're on a hard surface, just go more gentle. So inhale and bend the knees. Inhale Inhale. And one more. All right. Last one. We're going to do some shaking. Okay. When I first started doing these, I felt a little silly. But then when I see my teacher do them and he does them with a lot of fun, and why not? So inhale, raise the arms. And then exhale, you start to wiggle at the hips, you shake it. And that distributes all that energy. Inhale, one more, inhale. Great. Now, we're going to bring our hands together in loose fists. Tap the back of your lower back, your kidney area, like a little self massage. Go down your butt, your glutes, back of the legs, and up the side or the inside, the belly. Brace your belly, make it hard. Go up your chest, gently up your, oops, down your arm first. The inside and the outside. Down up your throat. Get the wrinkles out of your forehead. Up the head, back of your head. And then we're going to smooth it out. So smoothing energy out. We don't want anything keeping us awake. No disco energy in our bodies. We want everything nice and settled and smooth. And our head. And then we bring our right hand, my right hand, your right hand to a fist. And then the other one is covering it. We have the sun and the moon, which represents the yin and yang energy of the universe. And that all resides within us as well. So we take a deep breath and then we bow. Nice. Before we move on, does anybody have questions about any of those movements or maybe any feedback? How did you feel? I hope that it wasn't too much on your arms. The Wuji practice was one of the practices that helped me eliminate drinking or alcohol from my life. So when I was doing those movements, when I was learning them, I would imagine that I stopped drinking, and eventually I did. And I also used Reiki as well. So two of the modalities that I work a lot with in this workshop is what really, really, really helped me. So let me just take a sip. Okay. So what I thought I would do, first I wanted to talk, I had this whole other thing about talking about gratitude. I was like, you know what? I said, I'm not going to talk about gratitude. I wanted to talk about a couple other smaller things. You know, everything is energy. And lately, I don't know why, but lately I've been really trying to get rid of things like purging and not just stuff in my house, which I do as well, but emails. Have you ever gone into your mailbox and noticed you have like 10,000 emails? Or maybe you don't even have 10,000 emails, but you have a lot. And having all that stuff, that old junk or the emails from a million years ago that you think you're going to hold on to, it's just worse as holding on to paper clutter, which is, I have a lot of that too. So I went into my mailbox one day, was going down a rabbit hole, and I just got rid of stuff. I started deleting sent emails, old emails. You know, I have like 5 email addresses, and it felt kind of good. I mean, I, I paused. I'm like, am I productive? But yes, I like to be productive. I consider that to be very productive. When I did that, I started getting like calls to do this. Hey, Rose, you want to do this? You want to collaborate with me on this? Or, something else happened that opportunity wise happened. So I was like, wait a minute, makes sense. Because I am like clearing out my mailbox. Think about a mailbox that's full and you just can't stuff anything else in it, right? Everything starts to fall out, you lose stuff, mail gets flown around because the wind's coming. Think of it that way. So your electronic mailbox, you need to go in there once in a while and clear it out. Super important. Documents on your not pictures though. Pictures are important, right? Unless they have stupid stuff. I go back and I get rid of stupid picture stuff as well. But getting rid of old emails. It's all energy. You're holding on to old things and you want to release them. And if you're a practitioner, like a Reiki practitioner or energetic practitioner, or if you want to do a prayer around getting rid of those emails, that's good too, you know? So yeah, so maybe take, I don't know. I did it for a few hours. Unless you want to do that, take some time from now until the end of the year and clear out the space because you are getting ready for a new year. You're getting ready for new things. Oh, thank you, Karen. Appreciate your comment. Blessings to you too. So, yeah, so you're getting ready for that new energy to come in. So you want to get rid of that old stuff. And I really recommend that you do it once in a while, not just once a year. Same with your surroundings. I strongly or I recommend that you go around and you get rid of things that you no longer need. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but you can do it. Um, Maybe you hold on to something, you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm not going to get rid of it. But then maybe next week you're like, why do I have this? And as soon as you start to think like that, that's when it goes. Once again, once you clear the space, the new opportunities come in. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was single, I trying to find the right man, right? And I actually invited a feng shui woman to come into my house. And where I lived, I was living on my own. And she came in and because feng shui is energy, and she had me move things around. She had me move and replace pictures on the wall and do certain things. And then the next thing you know, I meet my husband. And I was like, wait a minute, did that work? Yes, I really believe that. So if you are looking for newer opportunities or just stuff, new space, just clear out the old, get it, get your place revitalized. And it just could be your virtual space. It could just be your desk. It doesn't have to be the whole house. God knows that's overwhelming. So just your desk even, or your office space, or your nightstand, or anything like that. So I highly recommend that. All right. Got a few minutes. Does anyone have questions on that? I may do a whole segment on decluttering actually one day. Before we go on, what I wanted to do is I want to throw into the chat real fast. I have I did, this is my website. So I already put next month's in there for this workshop, December 18th. We're going to do intention setting. I thought of it just before we got on here. So intention setting to prepare for the new year, right? So it'll be we'll do some meditation. We'll connect with maybe a guide or something that allows us to create an intention for the new year. And it may not be your goals. It doesn't have to be that. It just mean an overall intention. And we'll do Qigong as well to help us with that. All right. So what I have here. So I brought out a few Oracle card decks. I didn't think about doing this until the very really close to the workshop time. I thought it would be kind of fun. And what the first one I thought I would do, and instead of just reading a card, I thought that I would work on our little intuition a little bit. So whether you're here in person or whether you're at home, you can I'd like to work on trying to identify the energy behind a certain card that I'm going to pick that I'm not going to show you. All right. And before we do that, let's just do a small exercise that opens up our psychic center, which I'm going to use the third eye. So that's our visual. All right. There's a lot of psychic centers that we have. We have a knowing, we have a seeing, we have a feeling, we have a smelling, right? There's all these different ones, and yours may be one may be stronger than the other. So you may not actually see any of the images on the card. You may know or sense them. But I just want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I just want you to take a couple of deep breaths. I want you to imagine that space between your eyes and imagine a big eyeball there. A really pretty eyeball, and you can make it whatever color eye you like. I like green. I wish I had green eyes. So we're going to make them, for mine, it's going to be green. And notice the eye, the shape. Is it almond? Maybe it's a little more round. Maybe it has big eyelashes. And watch it blink. So make it blink. Good. Just look at that eye for a few moments. And it's big. It could be just taking up that entire space. And it's crystal. It's like vibrant, and the energy is bright. And that's your third eye. That's your an intuitive uh, a way that you can intuitively see things. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick a card. And I'm going to hold the card not up to you, but to me. And I want you to think about this card. All right, you can't see the picture. And you don't have to share. I just want you to think about it. If you have a piece of paper, you want to start to write what you think, color, image, number, words, letters, even anything that pops up into your mind. Don't overthink it. Even if you have to close your eyes and imagine the card, imagine your third eye, and what do you see? Okay. All right. I'll give you another moment. Okay. First of all, um, I'd be interested in knowing if any of you, even at home, that are watching this afterwards, you can always email me. So this is the card, okay? So the card, I'm not mirrored. It's called Pure Spirit Purification. It's a beautiful, looks like a fairy in a winter wonderland. And she has a pink dress. She's holding what looks like a pine in her hand, a pine bouquet. She has big, beautiful wings. So it's very simple. It's not complicated. The number's 30. I'm sorry. It's a gold in gold. There's it's stars around as well. You have green and it's nighttime. So all these things. And I'm going to read the message of this card because I think that one of the reasons I picked this card as well is because you needed to hear the message. So I would like to read the message that is here from the book. But what I think that this message is intuitively before I even look at the book, I think it really aligns with what I was saying about the clutter. Because the snow is purity and the snow is cleansing. You know, when you have like this beautiful blanket of snow, it looks so clean and it's so pretty. And you can sense that, you can smell it, and you can see that white cleansing energy, right? And the trees, they just represent growth. And actually the pine could represent like your pineal gland, which is this third eye. How cool is that? Yeah. Pure spirit. I'm sorry, pine spirit, it said. Of course, I can't read because I can't see the word. It's pine spirit. All right. Well, I'm going to read what it says for the book. And let's say that this is a message. It's a collective message for everybody. A soft layer of snow has shrouded the pines of the sacred forest. Okay. Your energy field is being cleansed of all that it doesn't need. Oh my gosh. The practice that we were doing, what was I saying? Let's get rid of what we no longer need. Traditionally, pine branches have been used in cleansing ceremonies because ancient people revered their purifying qualities. Yes, an essential oil of the pine is very antiseptic and very antibacterial. And this card's appearance is a message to release what doesn't serve, bing, 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 support or empower you. Release all that negative vibe. Let go of anything that feels dull and murky in your life. Cleanse your body and your environment by doing cleaning. I'm dying over here. Cleaning, space clearing, and clutter clearing. When your auric field is cluttered and energy is dingy, you can't see the world clearly and will have trouble hearing the messages from spirit. I mean, come on. I couldn't have picked a better card even if I went through the deck. This is so in alignment with what we're doing. The time has come to lighten up, eat and live lightly. Before a shiny, vibrant new cycle can begin, it is essential to let go of the old. The brilliance that pours through you can then shine throughout your life and also help many people. But first, the path has to be made clear. So the spirit of the pine says, let go of the old, discarded and unused, purify and cleanse, and clutter clear your home, your body, and your life. Release whatever doesn't serve or support you. Take time for a total purification. You'll feel brighter and also be a clearer channel for the light. So, yes. So I'm curious if any of you did um, get a sense for anything on this card. It was a very simple, intuitive exercise. I would like to do more of these for some future workshops where we actually focus on learning how to use our senses, our clairs. Um, I think that that would be kind of fun. But if you did get a hit on anything, you could always text me later. That was kind of fun, actually. That was pretty spot on. All right, so I'm just going to put my jacket on because it is a little bit cold here. And if you don't have any questions, I don't know if you do. Just as a reminder, we do these once a month. I'm going to do the Reiki sessions shortly. I'm also going to get some crystals. And during that time, I'm just going to walk you through a really quick journey. And I have my drum today. And I'll guide you through like 10 minutes of Reiki, something like that, something simple just to get your energy settled. But I really want you to think about everything that's said, and that card really validates. And like I said, it was not, I didn't pre-pick it. So it was something that is a message that really needs to come through for everybody. And I think that that's something that we need to think about all the time, right? So clearing out the clutter and in our emails and in our lives, in our space, on our bodies. Think about things that you're putting in your body that is not appropriate. And it could mean, I'll tell you right now, I went to a functional medicine doctor and she said that I need to eliminate gluten and dairy for 3 months because it's creating inflammation in my body. Now, I stopped drinking alcohol over a year ago and I thought, hey, I'm going to be like, super better. But no, and I am doing what I need to do to make my health as best as possible. So, yeah. All right. So now we're going to go into the Reiki. I'm not going to put any background music. Actually, I probably could, but I do have my drum. So I'm going to use the drum at the beginning to do a little ceremony. Uh, the drum is used a lot in shamanic, and guess what? The drum is also used for clearing. All right. So maybe we can continue that theme of clearing out. I have my crystals up there. I'm not going to get my crystals. So find the comfortable spot. And then at the end, I will open it up if anybody has questions or comments. And I just want to talk about, um, just wrapping up at the end. So find the comfortable space. You can close your camera if you'd like. I will keep mine on. And take a few deep breaths. Take a few deep breaths. And with each exhale, just feel that energy of yours just settling and relaxing. Feel the points of your body that are touching any surfaces. So if you're laying down, feel the back of your head, feel your back. Get nice and snuggly, and if you fall asleep, that's fine too. It's all good. Yeah. And we're going to start. Just listening to the sound. Bring your mind to a place that's special for you. Maybe it's the beach, maybe it's your backyard, special garden. Maybe it's a hammock in a field somewhere, or maybe on a blanket at a special park. Find a place that's comfortable and cozy. And this is your special place. There's nobody else around. Maybe a few animals are scurrying around, birds are flying overhead, but there's no one here except you. And you're here just to relax and receive this Reiki energy. The sky is beautiful. Maybe the trees are there and they're in full bloom or not. Wherever you are, it's your sacred space. And settle into this space and know that you are safe no matter what. Maybe you sense a guide coming in and being with you, a spirit of some sort. If you feel any sensations or get any of these impressions throughout the Reiki session, that's normal. When we're in this heightened state, we're opening ourselves to receiving the energies of the universe. So we're here to heal. And I want you to bring to mind something maybe that you would like that Reiki energy to go to. It will go wherever it needs to go. But if there's a certain element or thing in your life or place in your body that you would like healing to go to, just bring it to your mind. Just allow yourself to receive the Reiki energy. Focus on your breathing if your mind starts to wander. If you feel sensations of heat or tingling, that's normal. Reiki is a universal life force energy that flows. And as a Reiki practitioner, it is flowing through me and out at a distance to see you, to be with you, and to cleanse any imbalances in your body and your spirit. And I usually don't talk during a session, but I may just at some point give you a little bit of a visual as to where I may be, where I sense the need to go. Right now, I'm sensing that everyone needs a little bit of their crown chakra open. So I like to always focus there and opening up this area to give us a greater connection to our divine energy, cosmic energy, universal energy. And then allowing any of the imbalances in our body to make its way out through the crown. So it's a gateway of releasing what no longer serves us. And I'm going to go quiet now while I send this energy out through the top of your head. We're going to work on the heart space, opening up this area. We're allowing Reiki to just flow there a little bit more, using the appropriate symbols to create peace here in our heart and in our lungs for any um, emotions that may be stuck. I'm going to send some of that energy now down towards your feet. So we are feeling a little bit more grounded, especially as we come to the holidays. Right? We need to feel a little bit more rooted. All right. Now, just before we end, imagine a beautiful light above you, like a spotlight, although it's not bright that hurts your eyes. It's a sparkly, beautiful light above you, and it's flaring out this beautiful light all around you. And this light is like a cleansing light, just like that purification card. And it's just cleansing that energy around you. It's like almost sweeping everything and sending any kind of excess debris, dust, whatever you want to call that energy, down to the earth. And then you could gently open your eyes. Hmm. Hopefully you're awake. Well, maybe not. If you're not awake, that's fine too. And that was the Reiki part. And yeah, it was definitely energy that went out and to certain places that needed to go, as it always does with Reiki. And just honor that yourself the rest of the day. And if you're watching the video, you're all getting Reiki, even if you're listening to it now. So it is definitely going out to you. Just be open to receiving it. And once again, I'm here if you have any questions. I also have offerings on my website for distant Reiki. And you can even set up a quick chat with me if you're interested in talking about it. I have a little call you can set up with me. I also have a podcast if you'd like to listen to that called Chat Off the Mat. And yeah, so a lot of things out there. Check out the next month. We can work a little bit more on our cards, set some intentions up, and prepare our body, mind, and spirit for next month. Thank you, Kathy.